We have sent her to do some karaoke to see how she feels about performing to a giant empty room for no money whatsoever. Is she the problem? It looks like in this instance she is the problem. Well, she dumped me, so I'm going to burn her house down. No, we're not having that. Mac and Edie, please go deal with that. Dove is burning. Seriously? No, absolutely not.
Hello from the void, it's Rose. Welcome back to my channel and my not so berry challenge. It's only been a week since my last video and I actually remember what I'm doing. So in our last episode of Not So Berry, Dove, our grey generation heir, was honestly drifting about, making dumb choices and singing to herself. That's all she's really been up to. So today we are going to be playing through until her young adult birthday. Now, I had changed the lifespans. I decided to give her a day back because her aging up on Thursday was like actually super inconvenient for me. So we will have her last 2 days at school, Thursday and Friday. And we're also going to be trying to figure out what's going on with our teen boyfriend Fig, who frankly is a walking red flag, and just generally trying to get through the end of our teenage life so I can finally move out of my massive house with 8 people in it and start again in a tiny household in a new place. Let's go play Sims.
We're rejoining the Spectra family with Dove and Mac having some cute daddy-daughter time, which is honestly appropriate. I'm so ready to move out of this massive household and start Dove's life out on her own, but I am also going to miss all of the wholesome family gameplay that we have had as part of Yellow Gen. It's the first time in my entire legacy we've had that, and I'm really glad that I didn't go with the tack of having Dove be really alienated from her parents. Like, she's not super close with her mum and dad. I mean, case in point, we've gone from having a nice cloud gaze to disagreeing about something. She's a very different kind of person to the rest of her family who are academics and scholars, but she is loved and she's had a really good upbringing, and I feel like she's going to carry that into whatever she does next. We do have a couple days of school left to get through, but I'm going to be focusing mainly on the things that she actually likes doing, which is obviously athletics, her swimming, but also music, which is something she's discovered a love for as a teenager, thanks in part to our up and down boyfriend Fig, who's really encouraged us to explore new things. He's really into music, so we've kind of got into music and singing in particular, and I think we'll invite him over because I personally am kind of ready to decide what we're going to do about this whole relationship. Like, it hasn't been good, it hasn't been bad. Oh, he's sleeping. Rude. It's only 11:30, he's meant to be a bad boy, like, come on buddy. I really want some answers. In 2 days we're going to be moving out, and I feel like we need to know whether or not we're moving out with him or not, and how he feels about that idea. Like, is he actually willing to commit, like, not to marriage or anything, but to like something more serious, and also having their relationship be like less yelly. Like, they can't be flipping back and forth between screaming at each other and flirting. Like, that's not healthy. This house might be chaotic, but as much as we've got about 5 million Sims, everyone is always kind to each other, mostly. There's always like little spats, but I feel like Dove is like equally responsible in this. Dove has got to know that like the fact that her and Fig constantly fight is not going to make moving out and being an adult any easier. So really, I think depending on how their interactions go at school over the next couple days and anything else that might happen, I think we are going to make a call. So I can focus on that. I actually think I'm going to just like follow Dove to school, so Petra's going to not exist. And I suddenly realised that I actually haven't fulfilled any of the criteria of the teen aspiration I gave Dove. I gave her the live fast aspiration, which she's meant to like pull a bunch of pranks and like getting in trouble and stuff, and we didn't do that. So before school started I did just have her go like write on a couple whiteboards, and then we are gonna go and chat to Fig. I'm just gonna ignore lessons today because I don't think we can fail out at this point, and as long as she passes, that's all I care about. Honestly, dealing with this is more important to me. And we're starting out well, starting out with a little hug. We approve of that. And then complaining? Dead flowers? It looks like we're listening to him whining, which isn't a negative interaction, but also isn't like the most fun. I try not to direct the conversations too much. I kind of just let them go organically and see what they queue up. So at the moment we're raving about growing up, which again feels appropriate, and we'll just see how this goes. Now, I did have an idea that maybe, okay, see here on the left, we've got a romantic interaction in process and then a mean one immediately afterwards. And this is what I can't be dealing with. We're literally kissing whilst the negative impact is still unfolding overhead, and I can't deal with this level of stress. So in a sort of last ditch effort, I think I might have them go swim together, because like for Dove, Like, swimming is going to definitely be a part of her life in the next phase. Whatever happens, we are going to be doing the athlete career, I think, but I'll do it as if she's a swimmer. So this part of her life is not really negotiable. Last episode, we tried introducing Fig to the swim team, which did not go over well. Him and Dove got in a fight and they all left because it was way too awkward. But swimming's going to be in her life, so maybe he could be her swim team, like her supporter, and just like enjoy hanging out at the pool, you know, to spend more time together. So yeah, I figured I'd see how this went, and it so far looks like they're being like nice and cute together, which we approve of. That is a good sign. That is a point in the pros, and I've zoomed out and there's negatives happening. See, I don't understand this. I don't know if it's my mods being balked up somehow, but I've just been having a lot of trouble with like relationships in The Sims recently. Apparently we're gonna do a dive, maybe to impress him, I don't know. Oh, that was more of a cannonball, but all right. Anyway, it's been really hard for me to like consistently build positive relationships. Everyone's sort of having a lot of sniping at each other and stuff, and that obviously doesn't matter so much in this storyline because we know this relationship has to end at some point, whether it's now, whether it's in our young adult phase. She's got to have 3 failed relationships before finding, in inverted commas, the one, and I think we can agree that for now this one is not it. But eventually we are going to have to try and build a lasting, healthy relationship, and I am a little bit worried that I'm not going to be able to do that. Let me know in comments if you've been having any problems like this with like overly negative reactions, and if so, do you have any idea how to fix it? Because the people want to know, and the people is me. Anyway, let me know. Otherwise, I am probably gonna, once I shut down my game, go check all my mods are up to date, and if not, I guess we're just in a really unlucky rut with Fig. And honestly, I feel terrible because Fig was made for me by Meg, and he is a fantastic sim. He's like super, super cute and exactly what I needed, but also this hasn't been the happiest, clappiest of team romances, and I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. Anyway, the afternoon with Fig hasn't really given us any answers, so I figured Dove, being kind of a proactive sim, would maybe go and try and figure some stuff out for herself. And she knows that Fig's dream for after graduation is to move to the city, start his band, live his starving artist fantasy. And so if she's going to go along with that, how is she going to fit in? He's always like, you could be a singer, and so we have sent her to do some karaoke to see how she feels about performing to a giant empty room for no money whatsoever, which is realistically what her future would look like if she goes with that. I do think she likes San Myshuno and would be potentially happy there, but this is the first time she's ever been on her own, so I figured I would just let her have some time to herself and kind of see what she gets up to. And what she's done is ordered a drink and a bowl of chips and got the bored sentiment. That's honestly super unexpected. I kind of thought she'd have a nice time. I mean, to be fair to her, this bar is dead. The only other people there seem to be middle-aged, but even so, you would think she would find some way to have fun in the city, and that does not seem to be happening. Maybe she's realising that it's Fig's dream and not hers, and if she goes, she might just end up being the girlfriend. Given how bored we are, I've actually accepted the invitation to go to the school sports event, which I don't normally go to. But I feel like this is kind of representative of the other option for Dove. Like, she could go and do something sporty at college or in like another setup, get in on her talent in the sort of most accepted way, which is definitely, I think, what her family would encourage her to do, to like go do a sport at college or in some other way. But her heart doesn't really seem in that too. I mean, it could be that she's insanely smelly, like visibly dirty, but also her athletic prowess is actually too good. And when she tried to play ball with like the other kids, they disliked her because she kept throwing it and hitting in their faces. So we are heading home, and I think that it is time to have a serious conversation with Fig. So I'm cheating to bring him over because, again, I've left it too late in the day and we can't organically invite him over. So we will use cheats to force an awkward conversation. And what are our options? Talk about marriage. Now, this isn't going to be marriage. We're gonna talk about commitment and see what his reaction is. It's positive. Okay, so in theory, he's like down to go. But now someone wants to insult someone. Who is insulting who? Is it Dove? Is she the problem? It looks like in this instance she is the problem. The only way that makes sense to me is if she thinks he's like not thought it through. If she's like, so we're going to be together forever, and he's like, yeah, of course, and she's like, well, how? You haven't ever asked me about like what I want or how any of this would work. It's just dreams. There's like nothing behind it. But we've got distracted, so I guess that conversation is over for now. Petra is just upstairs crying. I'm not sure why. Maybe she had like a bad test or something, or looks like someone died. Anyway, now that we have got through the woohoos, Fig actually has decided to leave. So yeah, there's not going to be any further conversation with him. I think we're just going to have to make our mind up for ourselves. Thank you, Carmine, for manifesting and breaking the bathroom. Hopefully that is not an omen for the final day of Dove's teenage years. We will be aging her up after school today. That means we need to take stock of what we know about what we want for our life. We've just hit level 9 fitness, which is frankly amazing. We've only got one more level to go, and we've got our whole lives to get there. So fitness is definitely going to be part of what we do. We know we want to swim, so we would like to live somewhere with a pool. We would kind of like to live in the city, I think. I don't think we want to move with Fig. I feel like when we talk to him about commitment, he's like in it in theory. And while Dove is definitely more relaxed than the rest of her family, she's still someone that's quite goal oriented. Like, she knows what she likes and she's willing to work hard at it. Apparently we just completed a milestone. Okay, well done. We got detention to do it, but that's fine. And that actually puts us in a room with Petra, who somehow also got detention, which is out of character. But maybe she was just like, if I don't hang out in detention, I'm literally never going to talk to my sister before she moves out, because the great creator in the sky doesn't pay me any attention since she shifted focus away from me. I'm really sorry. But I feel like Petra would give sensible advice. Probably just like, keep it simple. What do you like? What are you good at? Do that and see what happens. You don't have to go be a girlfriend. You don't have to go be an athlete. You could just get a job and work and see where you go. And Dove's response to that is to go outside and have a High School Musical moment. Sing Gabriella. Oh, Gabriella wouldn't do that. She's just like stop mid-song to waft a fart. Like, that's normally when the backing dancers would come out. And instead we just got gas. Petra, you can rely on logic skill. Oh, we're meant to be an exam. Well, we failed it. That's not surprising. We were outside singing for the entirety of it, but that's fine. We I think, have passed school. I think we got a C. We'll find out when we age up. I also think we have some clarity. I think we are just going to keep it dead simple. Oh, looks like Mithra is pregnant. I've invited the whole family over, by the way, so this is about to get really chaotic, like it wasn't already. I feel like my brain is in about 12 different places at once. There's like so many things I need to do: bake cakes, collect the items that I want to move Dove out with, check the family tree and see if we've got any surprise new relatives. It looks like this is Mithra's second husband and that she's married to someone called Sergio, which is cool. Her daughter is in middle school, which does mean we are still ahead in terms of Mac's line of the family tree, which seems important somehow. Anyway, we have got cakes. Matt, could you please put candles on that before someone eats any of them? Thank you, sir. Cochineal's still alive, which honestly I'm super surprised about. Hadn't thought he would be. He is technically Gen 2, so he's like Carmine's youngest brother. But enough distractions. Petra has somehow got ahead of Dove in blowing her candles out, so I guess we're going to age up Petra first, which is inappropriate as she is the youngest sibling, and we will randomise her trait. Art lover. Okay, so she's a good perfectionist art lover. That's giving me like maybe interior design or something, like applied art, because she's quite logical, so maybe she'd be like a graphics designer or something. And she has got honours, which doesn't surprise me because we did always do our homework for Petra. And now it is Dove's turn. She's going into the lounge around the dancers to age up, which honestly is on brand. And her final trait is music lover, I think, right? Where's that? Over there? Oh yeah. So our relationship with Fig has given us this final trait, and we need to have the bodybuilder aspiration for Grey Gen, I think. Yep, okay, so we're going to be becoming an absolute unit. And yeah, we graduated. That is good enough. We didn't graduate with honours, we've just graduated, and that is enough to move on with our lives. I am just quickly going to age Fig up, because there's some stuff I want to do and I need him to be the same age as her for them to have those interactions. Like, if he's still a teen, none of the romance stuff will show up. So we are just going to get that done quickly. And then I'm going to set Petra up with a career before I forget. And then we're going to finish the stuff with Dove, and then we're going to move her out, and then that's going to be the end of the episode. Okay, right. We are going to put Petra into maybe the critic career. No, I feel like she's not negative. I'm going to put her in the interior design career because I won't have to run it, which means I don't have to deal with the fact it's broken. And with that done, it is time for Dove and Fig to have a serious conversation. I am going to have her ask him to just be friends because I feel like they both need a fresh start, and this could either end like relatively amicably now as they both head off and do something different with their lives, or they can try and make it work long distance or move in together and fight constantly, and I don't think either of them want that. I feel like Fig's ego might be a bit crushed. I think he definitely has this sort of like bohemian dream of them running off into the sunset and everything being fine, and oh, apparently he aged up with the kleptomaniac trait. So, bullet dodged. I did not set that. That has just happened. So we're going to end it on good terms with a little snuggle, a little farewell, and then we are going to walk off into the sunset alone, literally. Once I have gone around the house and picked up all of the stuff from the previous generations that I want to take with us, and invariably I'm going to forget something, but I definitely want like the photographs and like some of the career swag and the gravestones and that kind of thing. Dove tried to go to bed and I'm like, babe, you're moving out. Come on, let's do what I asked you to do, which is take some pictures with your parents. I realised I didn't have any pictures of Dove with Mac and Edie, and they have been such lovely parents. Edie has been such a lovely sim to have in my game. Thank you once again to Rowena for the love of Mac's life. Thank you to the genetics of my game for giving me such cute sims. And with one last hug for Dad, we are going to move out and split from household. I am so ready. I'm a little bit sad, but mostly I'm ready, and I have finally decided, with only a small amount of help from spinning a wheel, where Dove is going to move to. So what? Seriously? Figures just set something on fire. He's like, oh well, she dumped me, so I'm going to burn her house down. No, we're not having that. Mac and Edie, please go deal with that. Dove is burning. Seriously? No, absolutely not. This must be a weather thing. She's not been anywhere near the fire. Okay, let's get her out of whatever outfits. This has gone from like a quiet ending to utter chaos, and I'm not having it. We're going to do this in managed world so that no more fuckery can ensue. We're moving Dove into her own household. We're giving her 30 grand. And the neighbourhood I have chosen for her is Windenburg. The reason is there is a massive pool in Windenburg, and so I've built her a little apartment, and we're going to tour that and discuss like why all that's happened at the beginning of the next episode. But this has gotten crazy, so as ever I'm going to say thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, love you, bye!